To understand the development of stage theory, it is important to understand the man that developed the theory, Victor Lowenfeld. Born in Austria in 1903, he was of Jewish descent. His education was pursued at the University in Vienna, where he graduated in 1928 with degrees in both art history and psychology. While studying in Vienna, he became a member of the staff at the Institute for the Blind. He was to write many articles, which caught the attention of Sigmund Freud, who personally came to visit him. The German invasion of Austria in 1938 forced his family to flee, eventually making their way to the United States. Lowenfeld taught psychology in Virginia at the Hampton Institute. Eventually, he also established an art department. Later, he was to teach at Pennsylvania State University, becoming chairman of art education until his death in 1960. In the Encyclopedia of Education, it states that Victor Lowenfeld experienced racial prejudice at the hands of the Nazis. I believe this is a pinnacle moment for Lowenfeld, that he was to be empathetic in developing psychologically based educational theories specifically for children, the blind, African American, and the handicapped. Germany, being under a Nazi regime, was to influence Victor Lowenfeld's perspective as to the mental health in a social-cultural context. Lowenfeld developed two educational concept theories. The first was grounded in the psychological development of children through art, in the context of aesthetic, social, physical, intellectual, and emotional growth. The second concept theory states stages of growth in art, which originated in German and Austrian sources, support that Victor Lowenfeld was not the first to develop these stage theories. The publication of Victor Lowenfeld's book Creative and Mental Growth in 1947 was to shape art education practices through the latter half of the 20th century. It is now in its 8th edition and is the most influential textbook for elementary art education, using the stage theory for showing the development of child art. The 6 stages are as follows. The scribbling stage, 2 to 4 years, beginning of self-expression. The pre-schematic stage, 4 to 7 years, first representational attempts. The schematic stage, 7 to 9 years, the achievement of form concept. The gang age, 9 to 12 years, the dawning realism. The pseudo-naturalistic stage, 12 to 14 years, the age of reasoning. Adolescent art, 14 to 17 years, the period of decision. Despite intellectualizing developmental theories, his ultimate goal for the art of children was to have expressive freedom in their creativity. When a child is circumvented in their creativity, either by low self-esteem or adult aesthetics of art, the child can develop psychological issues. The goal is not the end product, but the creative process of the art to develop a healthy individual. This take on the psychological creativity aspect of art education is where Victor Lowenfeld was to gain criticism, especially when the onset of the curriculum reform movement, the importance of discipline-oriented forms of study, began to challenge Lowenfeld's ideas about creativity as the central purpose of art education. In the book, Creative and Mental Growth, Victor Lowenfeld summarizes, he never intended to make delineation groupings, that the stages were more midpoints and the stages themselves as convenient labels for a study of children's art and not as invariant categories. He conjectured that just as the artist is influenced by their culture, the artist's intentions, society and environment, so is the child artist when taken in the context with their surroundings, home and school. He felt that the art classroom should not be a place of evaluation like that of other academic subject areas, that art remains a place for personal growth. Uniquely, art is the only subject area that can claim this.